Okay, so another honest moment. I do watch a lot of YouTube, y'all. I have a variety of channels that I like to watch. It's funny because a friend of mine saw my For You page and was like, "Your For You page is kind of like my For You page." That was kind of validating. Um, but in watching everybody else that post on YouTube, um, I was kind of thinking before I even started this challenge, right? Of people who I'd follow for years, um, and how their channel has, changed, evolved. They might have kind of, started with one niche and went to another. And um, sometimes I unsubscribed, and sometimes I didn't. Right? It just depended. Honestly, I can't tell you all the things that it probably depended on. Obviously, either I like the way they edited, styled their videos, or I like the way they talk. There's probably no, distinctive rhyme or reason per se. So I'm thinking of one who was chronically sick, and so, um, when she came back, it was pretty cool because it was kind of that validation she was still here with us. Um, but anyway, that's a long intro and tangent. Um, to the fact that I literally witnessed other people start and stop or their YouTube channels, or I watched them pivot across different niches or platforms or what have you. And when you start, again, someone who sees patterns, someone who notices things, I started seeing the patterns. I was like, oh, this isn't just one person. This isn't just one area. Um, and I think it's what got me thinking about starting again as well of they did it. I stuck around on their channel. I'm sure other people did. And so it was kind of this realization of if they can do it, I can, right? But also my goodness, if I had just let me go back. It kind of almost brought me to tears. And it's one of those things where you're so frustrated that you want to cry, but no teardrop comes. Um, and it wasn't so much out of jealousy because their channel was their channel, right? Their thing was their thing. Um, but it was because I could have had my thing. It wouldn't have been the same necessarily. Could have been similar topics, right? Um, but it would have been mine. And I didn't do anything about it back then. I didn't build it. And I think I've been sitting with that idea for a while now of the what ifs. What if I had kept posting after college or after Peace Corps? What if I had posted those videos from Korea instead of just the Instagram 1 second a day videos? Um, what if I had just kept going and not waited on permission from somebody else, that we talked about yesterday? Um, what if I just pushed through the hollow feeling, right? What if I just kept going? And that's kind of a bad spiral to be in. Um, it, it's one that I think just like any other spiral of life, you kind of have to go through it to get out of it, and that took a while. I don't know if it's months or years, but Um, yeah, just you just start thinking about and then you start kind of counting the years, the months, how many videos could have been posted. Um, what are those lessons I could have been learning then instead of waiting to learn it now or in the future. Um, and trying to think about that doesn't help. Trying to do that math, however that equation would even look like. Honestly, it probably just makes it worse. Just don't. I don't need that data. That's data I don't need, don't want. um, but it's a version of myself that I've sat with. Um, it's the version of me that started sooner, and she's the one that maybe would have figured out her why earlier had she kept posting. Maybe she would have been able to push through the hollow feeling or had listened to it in the first place. I don't know. But I think about that version of myself sometimes. And honestly not I think at one point I probably thought about it in a romanticizing way of the would have, could have, should have's, the money or possibilities, the open doors that could have happened, but I think now it's mostly just in a grieving way. Like I have to release her in order to become the person that I can become now. Um and that's why we're starting now. I'm at maybe still less than 20 videos on YouTube right now. That's okay. So I just kind of want to share that like there's a place for the grieving of a past self, and now I'm at that point where I'm not necessarily waiting on her anymore. Um, but there's no I'm still grieving her in a way. It's not a grief doesn't have a finish point. So there's no conclusion today, there's no lesson, there's no clean way to finish this thought or conversation. Like it's just something that like I wanted to acknowledge and give the space for, um because I think that has to happen in order for letting go to truly happen. um but like I said, we're still in the messy middle of it. So today's question is, have you ever sat with a version of yourself that you wish had started sooner, or the one who didn't stop something? Have you grieved that version? Do you think you've been able to move past it?